Hello and welcome back to the Data Protection Diaries. We've been a little bit behind on content the last couple of weeks because we have been really busy doing some other things, but we are back, and today we are talking about the importance of security controls, what's appropriate and what the benefits of having good security controls within your organisation are. As always, if you like these videos or you find them useful or interesting, please do give us a like, drop a comment down below, and also click the subscribe button if you want to see more. If you have any questions, our email address or my email address will be at the end of the video. You can also catch us on LinkedIn. If you just look for iStorm Solutions, and you'll find us on there. You can find us obviously on YouTube under the Data Protection Diaries, and you can also find us on Twitter at Rich Marigold. But for now, let's get on with the video. Okay, so when we're talking about security controls or appropriate security controls, what are we talking about? Well, under the GDPR, there is obviously a requirement to have appropriate organisational and technical measures in place to protect personal data. Now, within the context of the GDPR, that piece of information or that article is about that long, whereas in the context of your organisation, having appropriate technical security controls is actually probably about that much of your data protection program or your security program. It is a really big piece, and it's something that you need to give really good and clear consideration to. So when we're talking about security controls, we're talking about technical measures. We're talking about things like antivirus, we're talking about firewalls, we're talking about simple things, passwords, access controls, PIN codes on your mobile devices, and even better if you can, having the ability to remote wipe your devices should they be lost or stolen. So what is an appropriate level of security control for an organisation? Well, in all honesty, it depends massively on your organisation, on the type of information that you're storing, the volume of information that you're storing, but also the amount of money that you have as an organisation, and the proportion between the risk associated that you hold with the information should be based against the amount of money that you spend on your security controls. We're not talking really about large corporate entities in this videos, because generally those kind of organisations have all this sort of stuff under control. What we're really focusing on is small and medium enterprises. So we've talked a lot in previous videos about risk and having an appropriate risk-based approach to information security and data protection, and that's exactly what you need to do when you're looking at your security controls. You need to assess your estate, you need to understand what information you're storing and how sensitive that information is, and then make sure that you have appropriate controls in place. As a baseline, always have antivirus. Antivirus now comes pretty much pre-installed on every device that you buy, so make sure you've got antivirus, make sure you've got it updated. Always recommend that you have encryption on your mobile devices. So if you're using laptops, if you're using tablets, make sure that those devices have hard drive encryption, because that will protect the information on your device should the device be lost or stolen. If you're using mobile devices, so everything from an iPhone to a Samsung or a Galaxy device, tablets, laptops, iPads, anything of that nature, make sure that you've got PIN codes on those devices, or you're using the biometrics, so you're using the thumbprint or the facial recognition on those devices. And I always recommend that you have that set to come on automatically after, say, 2 minutes of non-use, so that even if you put it down on the desk or you put it down in a table in a pub and you pop off to the bar, if somebody steals it, they're not going to be able to gain access to your phone. And again, a bit like when your PIN number for your credit card or your bank card, make sure that you're not sharing those pieces of information with anybody else. If you have a network, or if you have an office and you have a network in your office, then obviously you need to be making sure that you've got appropriate firewalls in place and that you've got decent network and access controls in place for your systems. If you're using an outsourced IT provider, they will be able to advise you on the best level of controls for your organisation. And if you're using an in-house team, and you're working in a privacy environment, don't be afraid to go and talk to your IT team and just ask them what controls are in place, how those controls are being assessed, and make sure that you understand that the controls in place for your organisation are appropriate. So what are the benefits of having good security controls? Well, to be honest, it should be fairly self-explanatory. It's, again, as always, a key part of the regulation that you have appropriate organisational and technical measures in place. If you have an incident, if you have a breach, that will be one of the things that the regulator, that the ICO looks at when they come and see you. They want to know what you are doing to protect the information. It's also going to reduce your corporate risk profile, so it's going to protect the information that you hold on the systems and the devices that you use within your organisation. So if, most likely when, let's be honest, one of your employees loses a laptop, loses a mobile phone, loses a laptop, if that device is encrypted and it's password protected, it's very, very unlikely that anybody is going to be able to access the information contained within it. So you're going to reduce the risk of a breach and the impact of a breach simply by having good security controls in place. As always, this is a risk-based approach. You really need to understand your estate and make sure that you're taking on the appropriate controls that are suitable for your organisation and allow your organisation to still operate effectively. What you don't want to do is start to strangle people. As per usual, we try and keep these videos short, so we don't want to go into too much detail. If you have any questions or you are interested in understanding more about the security controls within your organisation, please do drop us a line and you'll catch the website down the bottom of the page where you can see more about what we do. As I said at the beginning of the video, you can also catch us on LinkedIn. Just look for @iStorm Solutions. You can also follow more videos on our YouTube channel, which is the Data Protection Diaries. But for today, that is it from me. I look forward to speaking to you all again very soon. Thanks very much.